Hello Capricorns, welcome to my channel Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. This is going to be a general message for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The star is popping out. We'll shuffle it back in, see if it comes out something in alignment with your hopes and dreams and wishes, or it's that Aquarius. Which actually, I feel like you guys came out recently in an Aquarius reading, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Maybe you're meant to cross-watch on Aquarius, I don't know. Guys, these are general messages, so not everything I say will resonate with every single Capricorn out there. Do come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, and ultimately only take away the messages that resonate with you, speak to you, motivate you, inspire you, and empower you. That's what I like to do with my tarot readings. If you're not feeling that way, it might not be your message this week, and that is okay. Please do have faith it's going out to someone who needs to hear it, even if that is not you. All right, those are my tarot rules. This deck is not shuffling, and it's kind of driving me crazy. Let me give it one really good shuffle. There we go. Ooh, yeah. That felt good. I'm going to do one more of those. Give you all the opportunities for fresh messages. Let's tap into Capricorn's energy. All right, what's coming in for Capricorn? Let's do it. My deck feels better. It's so weird how it's like an energy thing. I can't describe it. Anyway. All right, the Fool. Look how cool this card is. A little mermaid, a siren, singing her song. What is she calling in? Someone who's like working her way towards her. And again, you guys can choose to view this through the lens of romance, job, career, whatever it is. I sort of see this as you reaching out to someone and wondering why they're not coming in sooner. And it's like they have their hands full. You may even need to, I don't know what this has to do with anything, but you may need to ask someone for help with a project specifically regarding your house. Something that would require a lot of endurance and muscle and strength, just so you can see what I'm looking at. Like almost like a house repair or a construction project, or I'm hearing the word demolition. So 10 of Cups. So this could actually be someone like a significant other or someone who could potentially fill that role. It could also just be a family member, right? If it's just platonic love. Deep. This may have to do with your family member. So actually, instead of waiting on them, you're being asked to go help them. Almost, and I don't do fear-based readings, but the way this was relayed, it's like they're struggling with something and they're not going to ask for help because maybe ego factors into it. They don't want to ask for help, but more than likely they're so in the thick of it they don't even have time to reach out. So there's something about you kind of swooping in to offer your services, because it does seem like, if this makes sense to anyone, you have the time or the energy or the availability right now to lend a helping hand. So in which case it's like you hear that calling and you swoop in to almost like save the day, especially if it's my female swooping in to save the man, right? Which I dig that story anyway, because I think it kind of goes against what we're taught as females of like, you know, oh, we always have to be the princess in the tower, and like we all know that's not true, right? Your lives don't play out that way, you know? So it's almost like, even if this I don't know, what I'm getting is this translate in any sense. The general message here is you have to run in and claim what you want, or you have to run in and offer some sort of aid or assistance to someone, and I think there's good karma in it for you. Something positive comes out. If nothing else, loyalty to your friend or to your family or whatever this is. And I'm almost getting some of you just have this psychic feeling that someone is needing assistance, and so you may reach out to them, you know, via phone or text first to check in. But if they don't answer, it's like you're going to go anyway. And again, like I know you guys could interpret this message as, oh my God, do I need to be worried? I don't think so, because those aren't really the messages that Spirit asks me to relay. I mean, of course, follow your intuition. If there's someone who you know, weekly or monthly or whatever, always have a conversation with, and they suddenly go missing, well, yeah, I mean, that's your intuition kicking in saying, yeah, I should check on them. So that's basically the message going on here. Yeah, this is very likely someone in your family who's building something for you. I don't know what to do with that, but I mean, hopefully it'll make sense to someone out there. And again, I always want to reinforce, it doesn't have to be a gender thing. It doesn't have to be female and male, but for a lot of you, that sort of seems like what this is. Yeah, so if you are the male Capricorn, or however you want to view this, you may have someone coming in to help you with something, because it's like you got yourself in too deep. It's like you undertook too much, I don't know, responsibilities, and I don't think you want to admit fault, or you know what I mean. Like, I get it. I like you guys. I'm not trying to shame you, but it's like you took on a lot more than you can handle. So rather than just simply delegating or asking for help, you're being a little bit stubborn. Like, no, I got this. It's fine. But it would be so much easier if you could just kind of check the ego and allow someone to help you. Yeah, this person is quite literally offering you kindness. They're offering you sympathy. They're offering you maybe even an apology, depending on what this is. And again, pick your person. It doesn't matter to me, but this person has really good intentions. The Page of Cups, it's very sweet. It's very youthful. It's very innocent. It's just like, it can even be a flirtation or dating. Just like, hey, will you go out with me? Like, it's very cute. It's very sweet. I like that. But there's a lot more strength to this person that they let on. I think, depending on who this is, a lot of times people write them off as being like weak or frail or too sensitive or something like that. And it's quite the opposite. They're coming in like a bat out of hell, like with a huge, what is the word? There's a huge energy, force. There's a lot of drive behind their motivation, because essentially it's like they're trying to protect you. They feel very entwined, I'm hearing. They feel very connected to you, and they want to help you. But not only that, they want to protect you. So yeah, if for some reason they feel like people are not treating you kindly or fairly, this person is going to come in, and it's like, they present as very sweet and, you know, like, I don't know, just they present as having some sort of, I think people write them off as weak because they are very in tune with their emotions, and really it's quite the opposite. It's like that's their superpower. That's kind of what makes them spew fire, however you want to say it. Yeah, this person takes good care of you. So if this is at all a dating relationship, I would just caution you that make sure that, you know, obviously you have your priorities, and that's fine, but make sure you don't neglect someone in your life who's actually really sweet and really good for you. And again, cares a tremendous amount about you. I think this person practices really healthy boundaries because they're not smothering you. If anything, they're kind of waiting patiently, hoping that you call them or text them. But there's like this unspoken, like, I got you. So like, let me know if you need help. But I keep kind of jumping back and forth to who's who. But whoever is the one who's got their, you know, hands full of stuff, you know, whatever this task or responsibility is, I do feel like in a sense they're not fully appreciating this person in their life, even if it's a friend or especially a family member. I think this is asking someone to take a few steps back and recognize your tribe of like loyal people who have been sort of a, what is that term, like a bedrock in your life? Because yeah, this person seems to have really good intentions, and I like their energy. They're not smothering you, they're not suffocating you, but at the drop of a hat, if you were to call them and be like, I need help, they would be there in like a second. And I think those are like kind of the truest friendships you have, where even if you go months or weeks without talking, right? If, you know, when it comes down to it, there's a mutual sense of, you guys are there for each other. There's loyalty. So I do sense that there's sort of some established roots here or history. Your families may be very good friends. You may have like common groups of friends, especially among your two different families. I don't know. That's for some of you. So I don't know. What do I need to tell this person who's got their hands full here? You need to remember to take a break. You need to relax a little bit, because by getting yourself into something and being overwhelmed, it's like your only perspective on the matter is to keep digging until you reach the end, or to keep throwing yourself into it. And universe is almost saying the opposite. It would do you really well to like walk away from this, because you're developing an unhealthy work habit. So rather than understanding that when the universe throws you obstacles, to just maybe take that at face value and understand, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to, you know, penetrate this door right now. The obstacles are there for a reason, and for some of you, I know it may seem kind of banal or mundane or whatever the word is, but it's like, are you remembering to honor and respect the people and the friendships and the family and the loyalties in your life? Because ultimately, you're going to burn a lot of bridges by always putting your work before your your people, essentially, right? And I mean, we can call it social life, more or less that's what it is, but I feel like we think that that has like just a fluffy connotation, like yeah, being social, but no, like you need people to support you, because believe it or not, you can't do it all on your own all the time, and you seem to have like a really good counterpart or a really good ally. So I guess credit where credit's due, but more so allow them to help you. And again, I never say this to offend, but can you get over your own ego and your need to be the best or your need to save the day? Can you kind of swallow that pride a little bit and understand that by allowing this person to help you, more or less, you're kind of allowing them to live out some sort of purpose in their own life and feel a sense of like accomplishment at the end of the day for being able to contribute to your life in a positive way. It's almost like you're robbing this person the opportunity that could actually make them very happy, and by default it would help you. So it's kind of win-win. So there's a lot of like internal grappling I'm hearing. There's like a lot of internal conflict about what to do with this. And so I'm honestly not sure. Part of me is like, okay, well, is this whole thing going on because this person wants to be romantically linked to Capricorn and they're not into it? Like, I don't... So you're going to know, right? If you know who this person is, or vice versa, if you know who this person is that you want to come in and save. I use that definitely in quotes. You can't save anyone, but you understand what I mean? Like, I don't... So what's between them then? Like, romantically? The Hierophant. So for some of you, this may already be an established marriage. Are you neglecting your husband? Are you neglecting your wife? Are you very defensive when this person offers you advice or guidance because they're concerned about your well-being? Do you tend to brush them off or say something kind of condescending because you feel like you're being attacked? It's funny, of all the zodiac signs, and it makes sense to me, you guys can be very sensitive about people commenting on your work, and I get it, because your work is your livelihood, it's your life, but it's like almost this obsession when you're so far in and you're so deep, sometimes you lack perspective about that, right? The same way every zodiac sign has their little pitfalls, like a blind spot. Yours, more often than not, Capricorn, has to do with your work. So do you have to take other people's truths and opinions as your own? Of course not. And I think that's healthy to have firm boundaries of what you're going to accept as true and what you're going to accept as valuable advice. But the thing is, it's coming from someone who I think you have a lot of respect for them. It might even be family. So where's the disconnect? Why aren't you listening? Why, in a sense, are you making it more difficult for yourself? Do you feel like you have something to prove? Are you trying to impress someone who you feel like discounts you or has disowned you? Is it like I don't mean to offend, but is it like a mommy or a daddy issue? Like, I need to be better than my father ever was, or I need to prove this person wrong? Because that in itself is not a good motivator. Revenge, and I don't mean to make you out to be evil, Capricorn. Please don't misinterpret this, but it seems like whatever is motivating you right now, it's not coming from a healthy place, because you're not respecting your body, for one thing. You're overdoing it. And also, I don't think it's purposeful, but you're also kind of pushing someone to the sideline who cares a lot about you. So just something to be cognizant of. What's between these? And then I'm going to move to another message, because I know this was a little bit specific, but sometimes that happens. So a lot of family dynamic, power struggle among the families. This could be competing siblings too, trying to like outsmart the other sibling. And it may have started off as very playful, but then it kind of got savage and it took a turn. But that's what I mean. Even if you guys are fighting, the minute you sort of get grounded again and you're like, oh, like I'm in too deep, I need help, this person will come and save you in a second. Like, this person likes you. This person believes in you and wants you to succeed, but is the opposite true? Do you believe in this person? Do you trust this person enough to know that they wouldn't give you bad advice because they actually care about your well-being? That's something really to consider. What's between them, please? The Queen of Coins. Yeah, so I mean, that's a Capricorn card. She's kind of the wifey mother card. There's something kind of maternal about her, but she's also no bullshit. She's not afraid to tell you the truth, because essentially what she offers has value to it. So whether it's love and compassion, whether it's words of wisdom, whether it's financial advice, right? Or quite literally a handout, right? It has value. It has weight. It's substantial. It's of the earth. It's not just this like hopeless romantic vibe. I don't know. It's just, there's something worth considering here. And I don't mean to do fear-based readings, but part of me is like, you're gonna miss this when it's gone, because you may be taking it for granted now. Once it's completely removed of your life or you strip yourself from this, and again, it's probably family for a lot of you, you're going to look back and wish you had spent more time with this person, especially if this is someone elderly, right? Who maybe is sort of in like that last, I hate to be so grim, but like a last chapter in life, or, towards like the end stages of life. You may not put as much stock and value in their opinion when you should be doing the exact opposite, Capricorn. And this might actually be another Capricorn in your life. A Cancer, a Scorpio, a Virgo. Yeah, there's, I know that this feels very, like I'm picking on you, and please, I don't ever mean to do that, but it's something like you kind of know that they're right, but hearing it from someone else, it hurts. It really does trigger like an internal wound or something. Again, trauma from your childhood of never feeling good enough or needing to prove yourself or stand out amongst the rest. It's fueling your ego in a way that is not healthy. Eight of Swords, it's like you've gotten yourself trapped in this situation, and the way of getting yourself out is sort of the opposite of what you should do. And I think intuitively you know that what this person is trying to do and say is to help you, but you may have already rejected them or said something sort of defensive. There may have been an argument and a fight, and I think deep down you know they were right. So not only do you have to course correct in your process and the way you're doing it, but you're also more or less needing to like make an apology to someone, or again, just check the ego, be able to look past your own perspective or bias, which that in itself is sort of egocentric, right? And there's a time and a place for that. Ego in itself is not a bad word. It really does have to do with your identity and your sense of self and that sort of thing. But I mean, it's Aries season. Aries are literally like the head, the ram. They shoulder the burden of being the egomaniacs of the zodiac. Are they all like that? Of course not, right? But I think that's why this message is coming up for a reason. So whether this is you or someone you care about, I think this is repairable, but somebody really needs to reassess and take stock of what is really important to them. It's almost like they're having a crisis of faith or a crisis of value systems, who and what they value in their life. It seems like they got themselves into a bind or a pickle or something, and now they're starting to understand the error of their ways. But the final step in that is admitting fault, or I don't know, it really doesn't have to be beating yourself up. It's just getting in tune with what the universe is trying to tell you and understanding the lessons and walking away with those lessons humbly. That's really what will fix this. But I don't know, Capricorn. I'm wanting to say, like, you got a good one here, so make sure you treat that person so, or you're going to lose them, right? That's going to be a karmic lesson for you. If it's vice versa, I think you're doing the right thing by again, being that bedrock in someone's life, but also at some point you may have to draw on the line in the sand where you're not constantly catering to their ego or giving them advice about their own wellness or well-being, health, and being ignored, or even this kind of combative energy of, well, you don't know anything and how dare you tell me about. Maybe that's a sign from the universe then, like, this person, which might be another Capricorn, by the way, is kind of going off on their own tangent. And while it might be a little bit unhealthy or toxic, it's not your job to fix them, right? You can be a loyal support system. You can be a loyal friend. But ultimately, maybe taking a break from this relationship would sort of give this person a welcomed wake-up call to recognize what's missing when you exit their life and you're not that person who, I feel like you shoulder a lot of weight, or just like this, like this is not literal, not like physical abuse, but you get a lot of pushback or repercussions on speaking your truth about, I care so much about you and I'm worried. It's like this person will not hear it, and even to the point where they get a little nasty with you sometimes because their ego is just so fragile and delicate. This is a tricky one, guys. I think, like a lot of my readings, it has a lot of potential if people can kind of get out of their own way. That's what Eight of Swords is. Like, this person has fenced themselves in. It was done on their own accord. It was their own words. It was their own thoughts. It was their own decisions that ultimately led to this awkward position, this awkward relationship. So the positive side to that is if they're the one that got themselves in the position, they can get themselves out as well, but they have to make better choices. They have to make healthier decisions. They have to open up the lines of communication, and honesty will fix that, right? As well as a bit of humility, being humble. There's really a lesson in that here. So anyway, that's one message. Ooh, Capricorn, you got a heavy one. Let's lighten it up. Let's see what else I can get for you. Do this one. All right. we'll do one quick 3-card spread for Capricorn. Anything else I can tell my lovely Capricorns? Let's connect with a new group of them or a new message, whatever is important. Let's try and maybe swing a little bit more positive. Some positive things or good things coming in, something to look forward to, some advice or guidance that could yield good results for Capricorns, whether it's dating or money or family. With some high-vibing messages I can share with Capricorn, please. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. The Chariot, so something with Cancer. The 8 of Pentacles, an opportunity maybe to work with a Cancer, or someone who's very artistic, or a graphic design, interior design, something with fancy stenography, calligraphy. I'm hearing words like that. So, some of you may be making out wedding invitations, someone who decides to work with you. Some of you may be signing a contract or something about, I'm hearing the word lease, but something about a car. You may be purchasing a new car. And something about a very official signature or signing on the dotted line. There's something about compromise. You may have to bend a little bit, and I don't know. I could interpret that in a multitude of ways, but there may be a negotiation process before you sign. There may be something about compensation or money. There's I think it's positive that there's room for wiggle room, or something about someone may need to be a little bit flexible in terms of what the signature is dictating. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is, Capricorn, but I think like maybe it's saying there's room for growth, or there's room for development or change. There's you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this is not something that you should walk away from because initially you don't like what's being offered. Use your ability to, I'm sort of hearing like charm the room, but more or less it's like to fight for what's important to you, but understand that you may have to make small sacrifices or negotiations to get to that ultimate end goal. I think 5 of Pentacles to me is saying it would be the wrong choice for you to walk away from this strictly because of the price tag. Because it's not the final story. It's not saying you have to settle for this lowball offer, but there may be a way you could, I'm hearing the word group and conglomerate. I don't know why those words are coming up, but there may be a way for you to maneuver this in such a way where, let's just say it's a job, right? Maybe it's like, okay, well, I'll take, $2,000 less if you give me an extra week of vacation. Or like there may be something that you could negotiate and again, be slightly flexible where you would actually be very happy signing the document. You would be happy coming on board. Others of you, if you're planning a wedding and sending out invites, the 5 of Pentacles to me is saying you're getting yourself in really deep with debt of this sort of lavish event or this lavish wedding. So and that doesn't seem very Capricorn-esque to me, but I have a feeling, I hate to make this a gender thing. I'm just going to relay it because it's what I'm hearing. For my Capricorn males who are engaged to females, especially a fire sign female, if you were just like, here's my credit card, honey, start planning the wedding, like, she is like charging way too much, like, just so you know. So it's like you may need to pull it back. I'm hearing the word streamline the cost of this wedding because I'm seeing something about financial debt or getting into a pit of really of debt, something to do with money. And the thing is, it may be happening. It's not behind your back in a sneaky way. It's something that you kind of gave word on, but you gave permission or responsibility to someone who maybe isn't as strategic with money as you are, or your Cancer for that matter, because that's the only major arcana I have, or a Leo. I was going to say, I was sensing Leo or Sagittarius is just like, I got credit cards, and they're like planning their bachelorette party, and it's just like, what? Anyway, and I mean, this could be you too, Capricorn, right? I mean, maybe you're cuspy or something like that. I guess it's just remembering or reminding you of the actual point of this contract or this wedding is to celebrate your love. And so don't get too hung up on the details of like having the luxury item and everything top of the line. And I know that's such a Capricorn thing, right? But I guess in terms of long term, I just see 5 of Pentacles as this is fixable, but make sure you're kind of keeping a reel of your spending, because something about like a really exciting celebration, the sun, happiness, joy, growth, renewal, creativity, you may be putting a lot of money into something that in the long term, it actually won't make that big of a difference. Like you're still going to have a blast, or it can even be something the cost of an outfit or a gown or whatever it is that you're doing. There's the temptation to spend a lot of money. And again, it has to do with the signing of a contract. celebrating that new pay scale that you're at or whatever, I think there's absolutely reason to celebrate, but you don't need to celebrate by spending a shitload of money, if that makes sense. That's really the main message coming through. And again, something about this may have to do with a Cancer or a Leo. There may be someone traveling to come see you. And they may be putting themselves out by doing this, but they haven't shared it with you. So this is an entirely different message, but it may have similar players in that you may be dealing with someone who hides the fact that they actually don't have a lot of money. And so by them making this great effort to come see you or get the plane ticket, it's like they're actually really scraping the bank to do it. So I don't know why this is coming out other than maybe being sympathetic to other people's plight with money because maybe things haven't been as easy for them as you, or vice versa. This could be you too. But yeah, there's something about someone is hiding their financial troubles from you because they're afraid of your judgment or that you're going to look down on them. And it may have been something that transpired in the past. This person may be in financial debt from college, and it's like they have a degree that they're not even using, and they have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of debt, and it's something like they're afraid to tell you. That may even have to do with you guys planning something big together. If you guys are going in on something, the reason behind it may be because they just simply don't have the money and they're terrified to tell you. Something about the father may play into this. There may be a father holding back money or someone who's a little bit stingy. It could be an Aries. Yes, someone here needs a handout. And I'm not sure. It's funny. This is actually really similar to Leo's reading. So I wonder if this is connected. There's fear about asking, and there's a lot of players here. Cancer, Aries, Leo, maybe some other water signs, Pisces, Scorpio. But it was funny, in Leo's reading, it was the idea of needing to ask a parent for financial help was met, or it was being approached with a lot of fear and concern, but really the results were very positive. I'm almost getting the opposite, is someone is very keen to ask for help from a parent, but the parent, especially the father, may be no, you need to learn the lesson yourself. And that may be you, Capricorn. You may have grown up with a father who was very no, you need to learn to be self-reliant. So again, it's all a matter of your perspective. You may have grown up feeling very, what is the word? You weren't treated well, or that you had to suffer because of your parents' decision to treat you like a little adult or something like that. But ultimately your wounds are your wisdom because you taught yourself to be very self-sufficient, right? You learned to be very self-reliant from a very young age. So I think it's a combination of rewarding yourself and giving yourself a pat on the back, but also not repeating mistakes, especially generational ones of your parents, your ancestors, that you viewed as tremendously harsh and actually maybe hindering your ability to thrive properly. Not repeating those. So just because you grew up in a house where, maybe you had a very harsh father, if you were about to enter the stage of fatherhood, maybe tweaking the recipe a little bit so that you don't repeat what you may be viewed as his faults or whatever. It's do the best you can, but I'm almost seeing as there's some storyline here of seeing a repetition of something that has happened in your family's history and possibly reasons why there might be bad blood there. And it does have to do with money. Someone feeling very resentful that someone had the ability to help them financially and they chose not to in order to allow that person to learn a lesson. And here's the thing, completely unbiased because I don't know who's who. Sometimes that does serve a greater purpose, especially for people who are enabling unhealthy spending habits in family, constantly getting their mom out of the bind or their sister or their brother, whoever. Eventually, you do have to draw the line in the sand. What I'm getting from this is that maybe there wasn't this repetitive behavior of fucking up and being irresponsible with money, but right out the get-go, someone was being no, I'm not going to help you finance this, your education, your car, your house. You have to do it on your own. And the thing is, Capricorn, if this is you, the message is, will you do it? Believe it or not, you find a way to do it, but it wasn't easy. It was something you struggled with. So maybe that's why you're a little bit stingy when other people ask you for help, whether it's emotional or, physical or financial. You tend to be a little bit, I came from the school of the hard knocks, so if I can do it, you can do it too. I think with the Queen of Cups clarifying this, it's saying maybe your approach could be a little bit softer, a little bit kinder, a little bit more compassionate, because ultimately, yes, you learned from the tough lessons you were given, but I think there can be a healthy balance of both, where there isn't that sense of resentment or rejection or it has to be hard. I don't think that's true. I think you can help people. And Anyway, I feel like I'm sort of all over the place there, but I hope that makes sense to someone. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it there, Capricorn. I'm trying to keep these a little bit short. You had interesting readings this week, so let me know in the comments below if any of that resonates. They were a little bit specific, but hey, that happens. Thanks for joining me, Capricorn. I appreciate you guys. Do remember to like the video. That helps me a whole lot, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And other than that, I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot. Bye, Capricorn.